Hello, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me again. So as always, before we get started, we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. And this week, Cap, from Lay Vampire, you pulled the Past of Prison, Bitterness, Grudge, and Refusal to Let Go. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Mysticism. Now, the Past of Prison is really talking about you releasing yourself from that kind of negativity. There is a need here for you to let go of that bitterness and whatever grudges you may be holding. You don't want your past to hold you a prisoner when it comes to moving forward in your life. But when you look at that with mysticism, you know, some of you may be fearing the unknown here, but really mysticism is about paying attention to your intuition. It's about paying attention to the intuitive knowing and not ignoring the signs that are around you. There is a need here for you to observe situations first before you respond. But this card is saying that there is no reason for you to fear the unknown. But I think for some of you, it's because of your past that you're having a hard time seeing what may be coming for some of you, and it may be creating some fear. But don't let your past hold you back. Pay attention to your intuition because it will lead you into a spot where you won't have to fear what you don't know. All right, Cap, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. The Fool. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Seeing the Fool as the overall energy here is saying that you are getting ready to go on a new path. What I love about the Fool, though, is that when you look at this like versus the Three of Wands, both of them are looking out over the cliff. In the Three of Wands, you should already know what to expect because this is what you've been working toward. But when you look at the Fool, you have no idea, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter here. That's where that leap of faith comes in and trusting in the experience. And I like seeing that, especially with, you know, this kind of fear that you're pulling here with the oracle cards. But I think some of you are going to be headed on a whole new path in your life compared to holding on to past resentments and then not trusting in the unknown. The Fool is suggesting otherwise, but beautiful, beautiful energy. And the past coming through, the Knight of Swords. Now, there's two ways for me to look at this. Looking at the Knight of Swords, and we'll have to see what else unfolds here, but there's the part here where there is this bravery and this charging forward into situations, being this clear-cut communicator, but then there's also the worry here about reckless behavior and arrogance. But then also for some of you, and I don't know why this is pulling through for me, some of you may have had somebody that was like in and out of your life. Like they were rushing in and then they were just gone. And it's like you're still pulling on this energy from the past coming through. And it may have been an air sign, but we shall see how this Knight of Swords is playing out. But this is quick energy. It's fast and it's abrupt. And in the present, there it is. There it is. So, you know, just looking at the three when you're talking in terms of you. With the Knight of Swords as a past coming through, this is you rushing into situations. Seeing the Three of Wands is saying that there is a period of waiting happening here. And again, looking out over that cliff, you should already know what to expect here. This is putting plans into action and starting to see things take shape. There's manifestation here. You know, and looking at it and looking at the Knight of Swords, I think there was a big shift in energy for some of you where it's like instead of rushing into a situation here, especially with the Fool, it's like, you know, before you're taking this leap, you're making sure that things are set up first is what it feels like, right? So you're not quite taking the leap. You are, but you're not. Right? Because you're still planning here. Like, oh yeah, I can take a leap of faith, but wait a minute, you know, let me make sure that everything is set up the way I want it to be first. But the Three of Wands is beautiful energy. I think some of you may be doing some waiting though now. It's like you rush into a situation and you're like, okay, you know, I'm not seeing anything quite yet. But it's funny seeing the Three of Wands and the Fool there. Future conditions, the Three of Pentacles. Look at the threes here. You're starting something important. And I think for some of you, there may have been, you know, a little bit of, I want to say like premature action here with the Knight of Swords, like rushing into this when really there is a need here for you to just slow down, get your plans into action here with the Three of Wands, and, you know, really put in the effort here with the Three of Pentacles. But again, the threes, and then you have the Three of Cups fall out too. This could be talking about you doing something in like a group of people, working together with a group of people towards something here, toward a common goal, right, with the Three of Pentacles, because it's the group effort too. It's not just you, you know, being recognized for the work that you're doing and you doing the right thing. It's also, you know, working together. And the Three of Wands, enterprise, right? Some of you may be doing something that is creative in nature, but you're getting some financial security out of it as well too. But it's just the start. It's just the start of a new venture. And I think that for some of you, you were like, yeah, let's go with this. Let's go. But it may be a little bit more slow going than you expected. But with the threes that you're pulling on here, I think that you're willing to take the time that's needed and put forth the effort to see the results that you're wanting to see and what you're expecting to see here especially. But for some of you, this is a brand new path, brand new. You know, and for a lot of you, when you're talking about that leap of faith, it could be that you're doing something, you know, that's not the regular work situation here. You know, you may be putting your creative ideas into action and like really seeing some financial gain out of it. You know, that takes a pretty big leap to stop doing the 9 to 5 and start working on what is important to you, especially if it has to do with, you know, your creative nature too. Your best path to follow. Look at it. Look at it. It's nice. I like seeing this because where you come in with this like abrupt like action feeling, it's like things start to slow down here and you start getting a little bit more practical about it. The Knight of Pentacles being your best path to follow is really talking about you making those plans, really laying down the framework here for what you're working toward. And it's going to pay off, Cap. Whatever it is that you're doing here, it's going to pay off beautifully for you guys. But you're just starting out. But again, there's this practical energy around it where you may have wanted to rush into it. Now, you know, you're taking a minute here to really lay down the plans for this. And again, you know, I think that Spirit is just trying to remind you here that this may take a little bit longer than what you may have expected before, but it's going to be well worth it. Well worth it. Definitely. In your environment, beautiful. It's beautiful seeing the Four of Wands and then the Three of Cups falling out for you. It's celebration, celebrating. And I'm seeing very different energy from the past coming through into what is in your environment now. Your energy shifts and things start to slow down, but you are starting to see some major results here through putting those plans into action. You're going from the 3 to the 4 where you start to see that stable foundation. But I think for some of you, it's time to take a break now and celebrate. Celebrate what you've been doing. Because these are beautiful, beautiful cards. And there's definitely a need to celebrate here. I really feel like, you know, the past may have held you a prisoner, but it's not affecting you anymore. What you're starting to do here is fantastic. And I think for a lot of you, you know, when I look at mysticism, what's going on here is there is this practical energy, there is this passion here, but I really do think that a lot of you are paying attention to your intuition and you're putting it to use. But beautiful, beautiful, and definitely I would be celebrating it. Your hopes and your fears, and it makes sense. It makes sense. when you're taking that kind of a leap, you know, there is a fear here that things may not work out. Now, the Ten of Swords too is, you know, again, there needs to be a release of pain here. It's the ending of pain, especially when you're looking at the past of prison. But it being in this position does not necessarily mean that this is going to manifest. This is what you're hoping or fearing. And looking at the Ten of Swords, you're fearing a painful ending here, but you're just starting out. But I think for a lot of you, it's a need to be done with the past. There is a new beginning here. When you look at the Ten of Swords, you're going back into the Ace, and there's clarity for you there. Some of you may have been through some really difficult situations, but that Ten of Swords is saying the pain is over with. It's over, it's done with. You know, and I can understand if you've had difficulties with past pain, it would make sense that starting something new may cause some fears for some of you. But I really think Spirit here is saying just keep going, because what you're doing is beautiful. It's beautiful. You're doing the right thing. Stick to your plans. And don't let your fears get the best of you. And then the outcome, Temperance. Beautiful, Cap. It's beautiful. Fantastic. Seeing that coming through is saying that your fears are not going to get the best of you at all. Not with Temperance. It's almost like you have angels surrounding you saying, that's okay. You know, you're going to find some balance here. Temperance is patience as well. Patience, being patient, not rushing into things. And putting down some solid plans here that are really, really, I'm serious, going to pay off for some of you. It's fantastic. I mean, look at it, right? And trusting in the experience. It's beautiful. Temperance is your outcome. I couldn't have asked for anything better for this reading. It's fantastic. You have guidance surrounding you. There's patience, there's moderation, there's balance. You're pulling on these energies of the threes, which is manifestation. You're working with other people who support you. There's celebration, and your fear is understandable, but you've got beautiful guidance around you that's helping you with those fears right now. And you're getting that balance. You're getting that balance between your mental and emotional thought. It's perfect. It's beautiful, Kat. I love it. And whatever it is that you're doing here, I'm telling you, it's going to pay off for you guys. Especially if you're working with a group of people here for something that is going to be sustainable for you. And financially, fantastic. Hell yeah, I'd be celebrating that too. All right, Cap, we're going to take a look at soul trees to see what other messages we can get. But I'm telling you, man, your readings have just been easy peasy, easy peasy. And I think a lot of you now are starting to act on your creative ideas, and you have a support system. And it's going to pay off. It is really going to pay off for some of you. A new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, so I'm seeing this card show up a lot for couples. And the way that I look at it in terms of couples, when you see new love, this is a new start in a relationship. It's almost like you're seeing this person as a new person. So for those of you who are in a relationship, things are going well. It's like you're viewing this person as somebody new. There is love in the relationship. Romantic feelings. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then for some of you, if you've dealt with breakups and you're just starting a relationship, this may be someone of importance to you, especially with all the three energy going on here. But beautiful, beautiful reading, Cap. And I would definitely trust in the universe here when it comes to what you're working for, because not only, you know, are you trusting in the experience, but the universe is responding by sending some guidance your way as well. Okay, Cap, this reading is fantastic. It's beautiful. And seeing you guys pulling the best threes in the deck is fantastic. I really do think that some of you are working with some people right now. And what you guys are working on are it's definitely going to pay off for you guys. You guys are doing the right thing here. And whatever it is that you're working toward, absolutely, Cap, I would be celebrating it, because you guys are going to receive fantastic news. And I'm telling you, with these two here, it's going to pay off for you guys. If you're working with a group of friends right now, whether this is something creative or you're doing something in terms of work, whatever it is that you're doing with these people, you may have to wait a little bit in the present moment to hear this fantastic news, but definitely continue to work at it, because it's going to pay off big time. I love seeing the 3 energy, seeing the Knight of Pentacles. It's fantastic. And absolutely, I would be celebrating with my friends too. When I see the Fool, and I'm looking at the 3 of Wands and then seeing the 10 of Swords and your hopes and fears, I think for some of you, you're taking that leap. You're getting away from worrying about what may or may not happen, especially with mysticism, because here again, there's that fear of not knowing. And I think some of you may be fearing that there could be an abrupt ending to this, especially with the Knight of Swords coming through. And for some of you, this may be dealing with an ending outside of what you're dealing with when it comes to what you're doing creatively with other people. You know, because again, there's still that feeling there with the Knight of Swords of somebody like abruptly coming in and running out. And then seeing the 10 of Swords, it would make sense. But I think for a lot of you, it's just a fear. It's just a fear. And there's a need here to realize that this is the ending of pain. But then when you look at Temperance, no matter what painful things you may have dealt with, it's completely different from what you're working toward, I can tell you that. But seeing Temperance come out is saying that you have guidance around you. You're going to get some balance between your thoughts and your emotions. There's going to be some patience here, some moderation, especially if you're celebrating. But seeing Temperance as your outcome is beautiful, and it is fantastic. Your reading is beautiful. I'm not even really worried about that 10 of Swords. I think for some of you, you just have to be careful about where your thoughts are going. If it's taking a little bit of time to see these things to start taking shape for you in the way that you're wanting it to. Transformation, healing, and change. This is really going along with the 10 of Swords too. There's going to be some big change in your life, but there's going to be healing. And I think that's where Temperance is coming in as well. And transformation. There's going to be a shift in your life, especially with the Fool being the signifier. But overall, this is a beautiful reading, Cap. It's comforting in a way. And I really do think that whatever it is that you're working toward is going to pay off. Just don't let your past hold you a prisoner. Keep moving forward and keep working towards those things. When it comes to love, again, if you're going out and celebrating, hell yeah, flirt, have a good time, right? This is about opening up to that lighthearted energy, especially with the 3 and then the 4 of Wands. The 3 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. Absolutely, go out and celebrate, have a good time, and if you're meeting somebody, extend that lighthearted energy and flirt with them. It's beautiful. New love for couples. I've been seeing this one a lot. The best way for me to describe this is, you know, for some of you, it may be a situation where you've gone through breakups, especially seeing the 10 of Swords there, and you may be meeting somebody new. And this could be a new love in your life, absolutely. For those of you, though, who are in a relationship and you're happy, it's like you're seeing this person with new eyes. It's like it's a new person to you. And it's brought up those romantic feelings that you may have felt at the beginning of the relationship. Either way, it's a beautiful card to be pulling. And I love this reading, Cap, and absolutely keep working towards your goals, because I'm telling you, it's going to pay off for you.